Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Today we're going to take a look at the upgraded LED Maglite Solitaire that you can buy at any big name, big chain hardware store in America and in most first world countries. And right off the bat, that's one of the biggest advantages of this aluminum construction single AAA battery LED flashlight compared to the competition. With most of those, you have to order online, you have to wait several days or a couple of weeks. With this one, you just drive to the nearest big name, big chain hardware store. You'll find it on the shelf. Heck, maybe you don't even have to go to one of those places. A lot of mom and pop hardware stores in America will have the upgraded LED Maglite Solitaire. And again, that's one huge advantage already. Now, before we get into the light itself, let's talk about the original version that came out many years ago. Very same form factor, but LED technology back then for flashlights was literally a novelty. Not even kidding. There were flashlights with LED emitters back when this little guy came out, but they were literally novelty keychain lights. Back then, if you wanted anything approaching decent output, it was incandescent all the way. Now the problem is, with a single AAA battery powering the light, the beam it put out was a tiny dot that was extremely yellow in tint and not very bright. Honestly, a normal sized lit candle was a little bit brighter. About the only good thing you could say about the beam that came out of the original, even on fresh batteries, it wasn't that impressive. But if you were in a large room, the beam would at least travel from one wall all the way to the far wall on the other side. So you had that advantage, and that's pretty much all you had. The upgraded version, 47 rated lumens. Now that means you're getting less than that in terms of output after the reflector and the bezel is attached. But 47 rated lumens is still a heck of a lot more impressive than what you originally got with this light. So let's take a closer look. Starting from the top, no button, just solid tail cap, but with a very thick, if you can see that, a very thick lanyard hole for a split ring attachment. Advantage number 2 with this design, that is a very thick lanyard hole for attaching a split ring to put this on your keychain if you want to. Now, headed down from the smooth tail cap, there's a smooth portion of the body here, and then further down you have these long grooves that are extremely thin and extremely shallow. Basically, they're just there for show. They really don't help with grip at all. Maybe microscopically better than a smooth body. Okay, further down, there's another smooth section that goes into a smooth section of the bezel. Now here you have more very thinly cut grooves, but these grooves are cut significantly, well, maybe not significantly, but quite a bit deeper than the grooves on the body. This gives you a good purchase on the head of the light to twist it and switch it on. And there it is, and that's my camera compensating for the 47 rated lumens. You get an impressive hotspot for a light of this size. That's an impressive hotspot with quite a bit of side spill. For a light of this size, that is very good. This is definitely a very usable light, more so than the original. So yeah, really good hotspot with plenty of side spill. Now let's take a look here. LED. Name of the company, USA. Weird little creature as the well-known logo for Maglite Solitaire. Now, in reality, this lettering is not quite as white as you see it here. It's a bit more subdued. It's just coming out a bit whiter on my camera. And then at the end you have the reflector, and there's the little LED underneath the reflector. Now, another advantage is price. This thing won't break the bank. So you have availability, you have price, you have an excellent attachment point for a split ring. Nice and thick. And the final advantage is the way this single output light switches on. When it's off, the head is tight against the body. In order to turn it on, you loosen the head. There we go. And even when you loosen the head to switch it on, this head is tight. It does not wobble at all. Now, this is how it should be. Unfortunately, every single other competitor does it backwards. In order to switch the light off, you have to loosen the head, and usually quite a bit more than on the Solitaire. So the head, when it comes to the competition, although not in every case, will usually wobble just a bit. Now, if that light is clipped to your main keyring, which is then clipped to a belt loop on the outside of your pants, as you're walking along, that slightly loosened head can easily loosen further. And if you're on a crowded city street, lots of noise, you're walking along, that head can easily loosen up, fall off, and the next thing that's going to fall out is the battery inside the light. But the rest of the light will still be attached to your keyring. And when you need to use it, you're going to notice that you're screwed. So, yeah. Now you might be wondering, well, if Maglite does it that way, and that's the right way, and I'm sorry, but yes, it is. That is the right way, the way Maglite does it. Why do all the other flashlight companies do it the other way? Well, unfortunately, Maglite's founder and owner is well known for suing anybody and anything that he even remotely for an instant thinks may have stolen an original idea from him. Now, I understand a man owning a company having to protect his intellectual property. I understand that. I respect it. Sometimes that means lawsuits. But honestly, in my humble opinion, he has sued competitors over the least little ridiculous thing, and And in quite a few cases, he's actually won. And I'm talking even the ridiculous lawsuits. I'm not going to get into detail, but some of them have been, in my humble opinion, ridiculous. And in my humble opinion, it was just ridiculous that the judge sided with the owner of Maglite in those ridiculous lawsuits. So that's why every single other company does it backwards. Because if they did it the way Maglite does it on their Solitaire, they'd be sued instantly, and they know it, and they don't want the headache and the hassle. But if you're buying a Maglite Solitaire, that's definitely an advantage for you. So those are the four main advantages: availability, price, split ring lanyard hole attachment point, and how the head tightens for when it's off, so you're carrying it and this can't loosen and fall off, and how it loosens just a bit when you're using it, and even then this head does not wobble at all. So this is definitely a well-made flashlight. Now, the disadvantages. Although it's all aluminum construction, and again, specs in the description box below, despite being all aluminum construction, it's not as tough as it looks. There are some flashlights that compete with it that are built like tiny tanks. The Solitaire, in my humble opinion, not one of those. It is surprisingly, though, more durable than some of its competition. So it's less durable than some models that compete with it, but more durable than some others. How is it for everyday EDC use by the average person? It's fantastic. You definitely get a very acceptable level of durability with this little guy. Very acceptable. If you're just an average person carrying it in your pocket as a small EDC light, or you're carrying it clipped to a keyring as a slightly long keychain light, the durability is definitely good enough. Absolutely. If you're looking for a small tank of a light that will survive a nuclear explosion, look elsewhere. But overall, this really is an excellent little light, especially for those who want single output, especially for those who don't want to order online and wait around for their light to arrive. This really is, for what it is, absolutely excellent and highly recommended. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys are still staying safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Please stay safe. It's still dangerous out there. Take care, guys.